What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Kids from the Ghetto. I'm your host, Takera.B, and this is powered by 4900 Entertainment. Welcome to part 2, and I'm here with my guy.
Jamal, what it is? Yeah, I'm back.
Back at it again.
Regular.
Yes. Well, today's episode, is just us right now.
Yep.
So we're going to really get into the other side of the music. We're going to talk about the work life.
Yeah.
The work-life balance.
Yeah.
And chasing that dream while you're still trying to get that money.
You know it?
So before we start, right? Because, a lot of people don't know, they only know the music about you.
Uh-huh.
Me too. So let's talk about your professional side.
Mm-hmm.
Now, going back, as a child, everybody always asks you, what you want to be when you grow up? So what was your answer to that question?
Man, I don't know. I think it was always like a rapper, to be honest with you. I think I've always wanted to be a rapper and sustain my lifestyle based on music itself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's always been that way. I had one point in time where I wanted to be like a lawyer, so I thought, you know what I mean, because I saw it on like TV or something like that. But that was never really something that I aspired to be. It really almost always have been a rapper, to be honest with you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you always knew you was good, or you always just had it in your heart?
I knew I was better than my people that was my age. I knew that. I was like, yo, I'm 10 times better than these niggas. Really. But I don't think that like, and I also had it in my heart, you know what I'm saying? But then like, fear creeps in and all of that kind of stuff. You don't think you can do it. But like having that, I've always, it was always rap. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I know I had this raw talent and I had an innate ability for putting words together. And, I'm just going to continue to try to fine tune it.
So was there a moment where, whether it was a performance or somebody told you, was there a moment that you like, okay, I'm a rapper and I'm doing this?
It was, for me personally, I was like, I did it just to stay connected to my older brother and my older cousins because we got a nice size gap between us. You feel me? And after like just trying to do it to appease them, to get my, applause from them, I had decided to be like, man, I got to figure this out on my own. And as an artist, I think too, like you get this yearning, you get this pulling, you know what I mean? That's like, man, you got to do something because there's plenty of rappers outside that don't want to go to the studio and put stuff out. They don't want to be, famous or whatever the case is. Sustain a lifestyle because fame is, whatever, right? But to sustain a lifestyle off music, for me, it's all I ever really wanted to do. And even when because I've been away for 4 years, I think the last thing I put out was Inebriated Dreams, and that was in 2020. And like, so it's 5 years, honestly. So, being away that 5 years, I felt like, man, like I really miss the studio. I really miss the process of creating something, putting something together. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like I think after, I came home and we started to let things kind of fall to the wayside. I was just like, man, I can't let this thing die. I gotta put out a mixtape or something. You know what I mean? Mixtapes was big at the time. My first mixtape came out in 2010.
Oh, wow.
So like, I'm like, I gotta put a mixtape out, and then you get that high. You know what I mean? And you start performing. And I was in school at that time. I was in college, so I'm now on the college circuit. And you start. I mean, it was different. You do get a high from it, and you can kind of lose your mind real quick when it comes to that. You feel me?
I do. I understand. So in that 5-year time where you're not making no music, what were you doing? Like, what were you, and mind you, this is in the midst of the pandemic.
Yeah.
This is all those things. So what were you doing? How'd you stay sane?
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I was home. You know what I mean? Well, I wasn't just home. I was still trying to like actively do stuff, but primarily I was just focusing on me and my personal life and building that and cultivating that. You know what I mean? And also at the same time, I was just like, it's like I got to start attaining some level of education as well, right? To sustain it. I think I got my degree in 2014, and I hadn't done anything with that for a long time. So I was just like, well, what's next, right? Because this pandemic, it gets scary, right? You ain't no shows popping, ain't none of that. So how you gonna get some money? You gotta get some money. And I had decided to like just capitalize on my other experiences, like my project management stuff, my
Okay.
I lean more into my like I'm gonna just keep it project management, right? Because I think that's cool for me to say on camera, right? But
Gotcha.
yeah, so like I lean more into like project management and got some certifications over there.
Nice.
Start going to a regular job, you feel me? So it worked out.
And what is your degree in, by the way?
Mass comm, so
Okay.
audio visual broadcasting. I did an internship with 95.1 Shine FM at the time. It's
Look
now.
at you with some gospel roots.
Yeah, you feel me? Yeah,
I love it. I
I
love
did
it.
it a little bit. It's Bright FM now, but they was such a close knit group that they didn't have any positions for me, and I wasn't trying to start back out on nobody's street team. So I was just like, man, I gotta bust a move, make some money. I went into telecommunications for a little while, and then I was just like, man, this I don't know how I'm going to do it. And then I just transitioned into like project management work, and relied on that kind of stuff like human resources, project management. And you kind of went into like a program analyst, management analyst, more of that kind of work. But
So, in that meantime, are you making music? Are you balancing the two? Or did you have a moment where I'm just putting the music beside, we got to get this money?
well, I'm making music at the time. Actually, I put out an album. I put my debut album out in 2016.
Okay. I was
Right.
around for that.
Yeah, right. So I put that album out, and then I didn't step away, so to speak. You get what I'm saying? Like I was still trying to, but I was trying to find my footing. To be honest with you, like how do I find the balance in it all? Like I can go broke spending all of this money trying to put this thing, this money into this music, trying to make this thing go, or I can try to do it a smart way and find a level of balance, right? Because I'm starting to see everybody else put music out, and I'm like, man, I got to keep up with those guys. They dropping all the time, and I'm just like, man, you get one project every couple years with me, maybe a freestyle here, maybe a single here, but I think I found balance, and I just one time I think in 2017 I stopped everything and went music full time. I went music full time from like 2017 to 2020.
Okay.
And it was like go, show here, show there, tour here, you know what I mean? But after the pandemic, like the streets got dry, the
Yeah.
money slowed up. You had to do something. You had to go back to work.
It did a number on all of us.
Come
Okay.
on, you feel me?
So talk about taking that leap of faith, because like you said, you were at it, you working, you doing all those things, but then you decided like, okay, I'm gonna just stop that and I'm focusing all on the music. Did your family and friends believe in you to do that?
I don't even think they even paid it attention. It was the money thing. It was like, you got people like my pops and them like, you got money for your rent. You feel me? Like as long as you got money for your rent, you ain't coming to us about none of that. Then
Do whatever you want to do.
however you want to get it, it's all good. And then you got like, your friends like, yo, you as long as you got money to drink, you feel me? You got money to hang out with us, like. Yeah, cause you do whatever you gonna do. You feel me? And like it never lacked for me. Like, you know what I mean? But that's like, as you say, like that's a leap of faith. You feel what I'm saying? Like, because I got a funny story about that though. Like, I never forget. I'll never forget. Right. So you know those little circulars that you get in your what you call it, your mailbox, like the little supermarket circulars that tell you what deals you get and all that, right? So one day I'm coming out my spot and I take the circular out and I just sit it on top of the mailbox. We got one of those roll mailboxes. So I just sit it on top of one of the mailboxes. And I was like, because I don't need it. I left out. I came back. I see that the circular is now bunched up into my mailbox. And the mailman is still there. I say, oh, I know cuz ain't play with me like that. I was like, oh,
he said, you're going to take this,
I
man.
said, oh, he tripping. So I pulled the joint back out, and I went and found him because he ain't nothing but 2 buildings down. I said, hey, man, you ain't put this in my mailbox, did you? He said, it's yours. I said, hey, yo, don't you ever play with me. I'm going crazy on him, right? I said, hey, bro, you a mailman. Stop playing with me, boy. You a mailman. And then not thinking about it, right? Hindsight being 2020, I was super ignorant. I should have never said that to that man. 9 times out of 10, that probably been his route long before I moved around there.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how God works, because 2 weeks later, I get a call. They say, look, money and funding done dried up. You feel me? We got to figure out something. We got to do something. And I'm just like, damn, I was sitting here telling that man, he's just a bellman.
Now I gotta be the
now my
mailman.
money gone. You feel me? Then I
Yeah,
couldn't-
that part.
I said, man, damn, if I ever see Cuz again, I'm going to apologize to him, buy him some lunch or something, man, because he ain't deserve that. And then 2 weeks later, I lost all my money. You feel me? That man still got a job. You know, but I've respected, I think ever since then, I've respected, like, you know, just people that decide to, you know, want to go out and be in the workforce and put that 20, 25, 30 years in, you know, whatever, and get that money. That was a crazy piece, though, because I'll never forget that.
How life come at you quick, right?
Real quick, like, you feel me?
Humble you real quick.
Man, what? Talk about it. I was just like, God, I can't believe this. He probably making a little $35,000, $38,000 an hour. I'm sitting here scratching and surviving. I was just eating moles last week. He was geeking.
That's funny. I mean, I'm telling you, it's when you out there though, or when things happen like that humble you, you have a different level of respect for everybody that working in whatever the job may be. Because, like you said, you got to get it however you get it, and if that's your way, keep at it.
So look, like I was telling you, like I've been following you, and I've been kind of paying attention. I know we ain't had much of a conversation in a little bit, but I know you went to TV for a little while. You did a stint in TV for a little while. Then you left TV, and then you did like some coordinator. Or tell me how that went. Like, was it coordinator work, or like how was what? Tell me the story, the lineage from, because when I left you, you were VBC Radio.
Yes.
Right?
Wow, I was.
And then
Love the Culture. Shout out to Love the Culture Radio.
Love
Jay
the Culture
Hill, Raven
Radio.
Paris. Yes.
Right. Straight up. Shout out to them. Yeah.
Yes. And BBC, of course. That's
And
my family.
Right.
So I was at the top of the radio. You know, we was doing our thing in the city. It was a great show, great time. But then we all kind of decided, like, we gonna go our separate ways. The truth is, the money wasn't there. We had got to this point where we were able to give ourselves a little bit of something, but the consistency wasn't there. Right. So we all kind of went separate ways. I went back to school, actually, went back to grad school at American. And from there, I graduated within it was like a year and a half program. So I came back, and that's when I got my first job in television news. Everybody was like, you can't get a TV job in your city. You're going to have to go somewhere like Kentucky, blah, blah, blah. I came back to Baltimore, got me a job at Channel 2, where I was the producer, and I really enjoyed that. But I found myself kind of feeling unmotivated. I thought that news was like my dream job because I always wanted to use my voice. I always wanted to do something, but it felt like it was more so telling all the bad Black stories, telling all the crime, all the violence. And when there was ideas being pitched about positive stuff, like people like you, or for example, I got a friend, rest in peace to my friend D. Dave. He loved D. Dave, and you know the kind of music he was putting out. And I kept pitching him to them, like, I know this artist, he's doing these positive things in the city, but it wasn't until he got shot and killed that they now coming to me like, can you tell us about him? Can you answer these questions? Can you connect us with the people? And I'm like, this can't be for me, because I wanted y'all to do the positive stuff, and now y'all want to know about him after he's gone, you know? So from there, I said, I'm done with the news. I actually took a leap of faith right there, because I just quit.
Wow.
I just quit it, yeah. My mother was, well, mind you, in the middle of that, I had a baby.
Okay.
And they wanted me to come back after the pandemic. They wanted me to come back. They wanted to change my shift. They wanted me to be in the office all the time. I wasn't with it, because if I'm able to produce the news from my car or from my house, which I need me to come back in the office for.
Right, sure enough.
So I just decided, I said, God, I know you got bigger and better for me. I'm not happy here. And I quit. And it was a dry spell. In the middle of the pandemic, fresh baby. It was a dry spell. But just similar to what you said about your artistry, I knew that I had what it took to be anything I wanted to be. So I started my business where I was making content and flyers and reels for people. I got into like just different hosting and different gigs like that, whether it was a fashion show for a school, at church. I was just hosting, using my voice however I could. And the money was coming in, but it's back to that consistency. So I'm like, let me figure out something. Fast forward to now, I have like my best job, and I won't shout them out, but it is my best and favorite job.
Okay.
And the reason why, and I'm gonna ask you about this, because the reason why is that it doesn't take away from my art. Like, my job allows me to not only do what I went to school for, which is communications, just like you, but it leaves that balance and that time for me to I'm still doing stuff like this. I'm hosting with you. I'm making
Right.
flyers for other small businesses. So I'm still helping people and living my dream in the meanwhile. And that's when I tell people that's when the job is okay.
Right.
When it's not interfering in what's in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
100%. Like, I agree with you. Like, to me personally, what I do is so left brain. You feel what I'm saying? That it has nothing to do with this over here.
Got you.
The thing that would affect this over here would be culture, time, and flexibility, right? If I didn't have that at my day job or whatever the case is, then I think that will ultimately affect me as an artist. But I'm in I'm in I'm in an industry that allows me to be like as flexible, right? My colleagues are very understanding and supportive, right? So the culture there is 100%, right? And that's something that you really can't like ask for, right? Like that's a God thing in my opinion.
It is.
Because when you walk in most places, like culture got to be on point. Because if it's not, then it's like that'll shift everything. You feel me? You don't even know why you got anxiety on Sunday nights. You feel what I'm saying? Because you got to wake up and go into
Say it
this
again.
incestual place. It seemed right. So, but like it just allows me to. It creates a lot of opportunity for me to have the room to do this right and keep on creating like it. But it also gives me the opportunity to exercise that other muscle that I have, right?
Yeah.
With diction and project management and thinking through things, right? Being an innovator. I think that it allows me to do that, which this can benefit from, right? Because even in this space right here, I wanted to control my own content instead of looking for other people to put me on their platforms. Create something for myself to get the message out there about the music and the project that I created, right? Because in my opinion, like nobody knows it like I do, if you will, right? And then you bring somebody in who's passionate about what they do, right? And then y'all find a way to collaborate together and then you make something happen. And then the feedback that I was getting from the first episode just proves that what I was saying about creating culture inside of Baltimore City is true. You get what I'm saying? Like you have the idea, get with somebody who's a professional at it, y'all cultivate it together, and then then what'll come out on screen to be a show of effort, the show of the work that y'all put in. Right?
What a gem. What a gem.
You feel me?
People miss that collaboration. I'm telling you, it's so much. We talked about this on the last episode. It's so much competition at times when you don't realize that you really are better together because I got this part, and then if you got that part, and we put it together, now we got a puzzle.
That's what I'm saying, right? A full picture. You get what but it's hard. I tell you that it's hard, right? Because I will tell you some of the things that I've experienced on this journey, and I'm gonna tell you like it's been tough. Communication with people throughout my tenure putting this project together has been tough, right?
Yeah.
Just getting people to do the things that they said that they were going to do has been tough. Getting people to accept criticism has been tough, right? And professionalism has been tough on this process, you know what I mean? And so like I get it. When somebody say like, bro, I don't feel like dealing with all of that, I get it, because most people be like, hey, bro, like, I'm done. I don't even feel like shorty over there, she ain't even speak when she walked in. Why would I ever want to work with her again?
Yeah.
Or main man over there, I done called him 12 different times. Bro never answered the phone. Why would I ever want to work with him again? And then you get so fed up. You say, man, the hell with everything. I'm just going to do what I want to do, and then it don't be as impactful as it would have been if everybody had gotten on it together, you know?
So where do you think your work ethic comes from? Do you think it's because you experienced that professional side of life, or is it from your upbringing and other things?
I do believe that a large part of how I work and how communicative I am comes from being a professional, like the white collar professional, right? Or just a professional. I don't care what kind of collar you wear, you feel me? But like just being a professional, you know what I mean? You don't want to, if I'm a handyman, I don't want to lose work because I miss a couple calls.
Right.
You feel me? Like I want to make sure that I'm there to be able to support that. And my level of communication just has to be on point, right? And I think that's important 100%. But like, yeah, it comes from, to me, being a professional. I think as I came up just like everybody else. Like at the core of what it is for me, like I'm a hood guy. Like that's just really what it is. You feel me? But I've just learned a couple skills along the way that'll continue to kind of catapult me into the next thing that I'm doing, right? You know, any arena I choose to want to try to step in it, you know what I mean? I think the level of skill that I've acquired while being a professional has kind of like, you know, wrangled that, if you will.
Got you. So for the kid that, because you know nowadays you can sit at home and stream and play a game all day and make a profession out of that. But there is a room for you to know you learn other skills. You learn interpersonal skills when you are blending with other people. So for those kids that's just at home and they just want to be a rapper, they just want to be a streamer, what kind of advice would you give them about the balance and kind of exploring everything that's your talents?
Yeah, shorty, don't forget to go outside. You know, go touch some grass, man. Because at the end of the day, like the way I learned personally, you know, is through people. You know what we did an assessment. Speaking of work, we did an assessment at one of my clients with one of my clients, right? And they were asking about the promotion process. They were like, "How did you feel about the promotion process this time around?" So on and so forth, right? And one of the guys in leadership, he said, "I don't think anything is wrong with, you know, you guys' process outside of the paper portion." He was like, you know, a lot of the footwork, a lot of the journeymans, the apprentice jobs, you know, they know how to do the work. They can do, you know, they have the technical ability to do the work. But when you get to where I am, it's more communicating with people, talking to people, trying to put out fires all day and trying to create things, again, being innovative. And most of these people don't have the interpersonal skill to make it here. But because they know how to write well, they got the promotion. And I think that's the same way when you become, you know, a secluded child, when you're just trying to like play games or whatever the case is. Like, bro, you gotta realize there's a whole world out there. That's where you develop your skill at, right? You go outside and you see her, you know, like that's somebody you should align yourself with. You see him and you realize like, cuz got some qualities I don't want to like infiltrate what I got going on. And then, you know, you kind of create your people. Again, I'm all about creating culture. So, you know what I mean? Like, you want to find your people, create your culture amongst your people, and do it together, because everybody got a different set of skills. You know?
Great. And was there ever a time where, whether it was outside or at the job, that you found it being a conflict of interest with like your music or?
Nah, you know what's so crazy about that? I used to, you are those, look, so I used to always get mad at artists. I used to tell, like, look, we got a show. The show is on a Tuesday. Hit me back. Oh, no, I can't do it Tuesday. I got to work. Bop, bop. Man, I used to work at Johns Hopkins security. And I think I said this before, because that number is so pertinent, right? I made $336 a week. You feel me? And that's not a lot of money. I don't give a damn what
Like,
year
what
it was.
year was it?
You feel me? I don't care
Yeah.
what year it was. It's just not a lot of bread. $336 a week. But if they told me I got a show on a Tuesday and I work 4 to 12, they told me I got a show on a Tuesday, man, I'm calling out.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Precisely. I'm using that PTO.
Yeah, I'm going to show. Shit, for me, if I ain't have it, I'm gone. You feel me? I'll make it up on the back end. Give me some overtime or something. You feel me? Put me on one of them little clients y'all got up there on the 5th floor. With one of them. Sit me down. I'm cool, but I get it back. But this opportunity may not be here.
Exactly.
You feel me? This opportunity to network may not be here.
Yeah.
So I would always get upset with different artists when they be like, "Oh, I gotta work," or "I can't do this." So, man, come on outside. You know what I mean? You and also too, with that, hindsight being 2020, learn how to gauge an opportunity as well.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Is it worth me calling out of my job?
Exactly.
Or is it just a small little thing
Right.
that or is it weekly? You know, it might be something that's weekly that's like, well, maybe I can't make it this week, but they doing the show again next week. I could do it then.
Exactly. So, you know what I mean? Be able to gauge that. With me, I was just going crazy. Like, no, I'm not coming in. You find somebody else to do it. Yeah.
I don't care what it
I
is.
don't give a damn what it is. You put somebody else in that
I
damn
know
hospital
that's right.
building.
I know that's right. But it takes a level of believing in yourself, you know? It takes a level of like not trusting in that dollar, but trusting in your talent and your God. And was there ever a time where you felt like you didn't really believe that much in yourself and you gotta
100%. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of times, shit. I could just talk about right now. Like, I heard the first mix of the album the other day, and I immediately start feeling like, again, with the imposter syndrome. I immediately start feeling like that because I'm just like, bro, it don't sound right here. The fade didn't come in the right way. The vocal need to be turned up right here. I'm truly nitpicking the project, which I'm supposed to do as the artist because I want it to be perfect for the listener, right?
right.
But also, I'm like, damn, is the song even good enough? Is it good music? It can be as technical as you want it to be. It can be as wordy, right? It can be as meaningful as you feel like it is. But like, is it good music?
Yeah.
Does it have replay value? You feel me? And like, I started second guessing myself. You know what I mean? So in this thing, as an artist, you just never feel 100%, about your stuff all the time. So I talk to some guys who I think got that about themselves. At least that's what they display. You feel me? But I just be like, cuz can't be like that when he go to bed at night.
All the time.
Man, I know one guy, I want to say his name so bad. I know one guy, every time you talk to him, it's just like, yo, oh my God, yo, just gotta be consistent. And I'm chasing that hit, bro. I got so much. You feel me? And I'm like, cuz is so confident. Whatever you eating, send me the recipe.
Facts.
You feel me? But I just don't, I'm not like that 100%. And sometimes I feel something about my voice, but then people say something like, oh no, you got a good voice. Then you be like, cuz, what are you talking about? So, as an artist, personally, I don't always feel 100%. And that's a consistent thing. That's a revolving thing. That's not something that, that's just how it is for me.
So in those times, how do you keep yourself from like being burnt out or like not like how do you get back inspired? I know there's a time where artists can have this writer's block. They can be in their head so much that you can't produce.
Yeah.
So how do you shake that and get up out of there?
So I had that in 2022, right? So at the end of 2022, well, from 2020 to about 2022, I felt like I had writer's block. I think I wrote one verse and two verses. I wrote two verses in that time. But I would always voice note little lyrics or something like that.
Yeah.
But I decided just to get, just put my pen to the pad at the end of 2022 and really start writing again. And I just kind of wrote my way through it, continued to watch like YouTube videos of people that inspire me, just listening to the technicalities of the music that they were making, stuff like that. And I'm not saying that it was simple because I really got some trash that I wrote and recorded. You feel me? Like some real trash that I've written. And I was just like, man, ain't no way I'm coming up with this. Not me. Like even my trashest bars be some fire. You feel me?
That's what I was gonna say. Trash according to who? According to you being tough on yourself,
it was not good.
Okay, it wasn't good.
It was not good. TK. I'm talking about the lyrical municipal isable. That shit was.
I'm not playing with you.
But no, I think writing my way through that and just giving myself grace, right? I was taught that by my man Brandon Yancey. He was, we was talking about a situation one time, and he was like, "Bro, give yourself some grace." And it wasn't even pertaining to music, but I've carried that with me since then, and I've learned to kind of give myself grace in these processes. You feel what I'm saying? So every time I thought about a trash bar or whatever the case is, it just kept on getting better. Here go Black Assets right here for the next episode.
Yes, the next episode is going to be beautiful. Okay, so we almost done. We'll wrap this one real soon. But before I let you go, before we get out this professional mindset, I just want to talk back about like just maintaining this healthy lifestyle with work and money and artistry. So how you just put them all together and just give any other advice to anybody else trying to do all of that.
Yeah, bro. Look, yo, you ain't gotta struggle. You feel me? You just don't gotta struggle, bro. Like, you can go get you a little piece of a job. you can go ahead and put your own money up,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you ain't got to kill yourself because it all ain't happening at one time.
Yeah.
Maybe you gotta stretch your money out. You can't shoot the big budget video on this date and then the next day, you know, fly to Atlanta to do a show. Maybe you gotta save your bread. You gotta do that show and then shoot the video the next day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The way content run out here, man, you got a phone in your hand. You got resources available to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing, bro. Realize how to utilize all your resources instead of just being pigeonholed to what you think will work.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so many different free apps and things and stuff to do out here.
Yeah.
You'd be good.
Including Baltimore.
And
Like,
a fact.
let's be clear. Instagram
Yeah.
is what it is, but Baltimore is a gym with tons of resources, studios, and people. Like you mentioned,
100%.
people, utilizing the people around you and for their talents, putting them together, making it work.
That's the real thing. Understand that like people are your biggest asset. You know, not money is necessary and you need to have, but people is your biggest asset. There's some, like, you know, I build a rapport with TK and then she say, which I've been calling her TK for a long time, but I noticed that she hasn't gone by that this entire time.
I know. It's okay though. If you know me, then you know I'm TK.
Right.
I didn't grew up a little bit, so I'm Takera.B,
Takera.B.
but I'm still TK if you know.
Yeah. But yeah, so you know what I'm saying? I've known Takera for a while now. So, you know, if I said like, look, I can't pay you right now, you know, maybe she'd be, depending on what she got going on, she may be more inclined to be like, look, I'll do this one for free. Just keep me in mind for the next one. You know,
Thanks.
people are your biggest resource and investment. So just keep that in mind.
Yep, and barter. Okay,
You know?
because I love a good barter.
Come on. Come on.
Well, that's a wrap, y'all. This was part 2 of Kids from the Ghetto, powered by 4900 Entertainment. We're gonna be right back for episode number 3. I cannot wait. We got some great people coming in the building.
Yeah. Episode 3 on the way.
We out.